What's good, YouTube? Sensational CLANCY'S here, and I'm back with another Tom Clancy's The Division vendor reset video. We're here for May 21st, 2021's vendor reset. So let's get right into this and see what we got good for this week. For our first gear items, head over to Camp Hudson. Here the gear vendor has a tactical pack with the talent specialized. Next here we got a prototype stamina mod with 194 stamina and 3% damage to elites. For our next gear items, head over to the meat locker. Here the weapons vendor has a SOCOM MK20 SSR. For our next gear items, head over to the base of operations. Here the Dark Zone gear vendor has a prototype performance mod with 5.50% first aid ally heal. For our next gear items, we're still at the base of operations. Head over to the weapons vendor, and here we got a police MK17. For our next gear items, we're still at the base of operations. Head over to the gear vendor here, and we got an operator pack with the talent relentless. For our next gear items, we're still at the base of operations. Head over to the advanced weaponry vendor, and here we got a heavy magazine spring. Next here we got a loud vent brake, and also here we got a rugged mini reflex sight. For our next gear items, we're still at the base of operations. Head over to the special equipment vendor. Here we got an operator mask with the talent enduring. Next here we got a gunslinger vest with the talent reckless. Also here we got a tactical pack with the talent relentless. Next here we got a prototype performance mod with 5.50% sticky bomb explosion radius. Also here we got a high velocity magazine. For our next gear items, we're still at the base of operations. Head over to the special blueprints vendor, and here we got some electronics gloves blueprint with a gear score of 256. And also here we got a vertical grip foliage green blueprint with a power level 34. And also here we got a quick release magazine blueprint with a power level 34. For our next gear items, head over to the cavern. Here the gear vendor has a spec ops armor with the talent rapid. And also here we got a prototype performance mod with 7% ballistic shield health. For our next gear items, head over to Camp Clinton. Here the special equipment vendor has a spec ops mask with the talent refreshed. Also here we got a prototype performance mod with 4.50% ballistic shield damage resilience. Also here we got a loud vent brake. For our next gear items, we're still at Camp Clinton. Head over to the special blueprints vendor, and here we got a firearms knee pad blueprint with a gear score of 256. Also here we got a compensator blueprint with a power level 34. Next here we got a flash hider blueprint with a power level 34. For our next gear items, head over to Wolf's Den. Here the weapons vendor has the SRSA1. And also here we got a high velocity magazine. For our next gear items, head over to the Southpaw. Here the gear vendor has a prototype performance mod with 6.50% support station range. For our next gear items, head over to the Crypt. Here the weapons vendor has a paratrooper SVD. For our next gear items, head over to West 31st Street checkpoint. Here the Dark Zone vendor has an extended magazine. For our next gear items, head over to West 34th Street checkpoint. Here the Dark Zone vendor has a prototype firearms mod with 265 firearms and 3014 health. For our next gear items, head over to West 39th Street checkpoint. Here the Dark Zone vendor has a G36 enhanced. Next here we got an operator mask with the talent rehabilitated on there. Also here we got a prototype performance mod with 2% pulse critical hit damage. For our next gear items, head over to West 42nd Street checkpoint. Here the Dark Zone vendor has a paratrooper SVD. Next here we got an operator mask with the talent rehabilitated. And also here we got a prototype performance mod with 6% support station duration. For our next gear items, head over to West 46th Street checkpoint. Here the Dark Zone vendor has a Scar L. Next here we got a spec ops armor with the talent reckless. And also here we got a prototype performance mod with 4% sticky bomb damage. For our next gear items, head over to West 53rd Street checkpoint. Here the Dark Zone vendor has a classic AK-47. And also here we got a 5.52 hollow sight. For our next gear items, head over to East 58th Street checkpoint. Here the Dark Zone gear vendor has a spec ops mask with the talent enduring. And also here we got a spec ops pack with the talent relentless. For our next gear items, head over to East 53rd Street checkpoint. Here the Dark Zone vendor has a tactical pack with the talent relentless on there. And also here we got a prototype performance mod with 3.50% seeker mine damage. For our next gear items, head over to East 42nd Street checkpoint. Here the Dark Zone vendor has a small grip red. For our next gear items, head over to East 34th Street checkpoint. Here the Dark Zone vendor has an extended magazine. For our next gear items, head over to East 31st Street checkpoint. Here the Dark Zone vendor has a tactical SASG 12K. Next here we got a tactical pack with the talent specialized. Next here we got a rugged mini reflex sight. For our next gear items, head over to DZ2 Safe Room. Here the Dark Zone gear vendor has a Spec Ops mask with the talent enduring. Next here we got a tactical vest with the talent Vigorous. For our next gear items, head over to DZ3 Safe Room. Here the Dark Zone Weapons vendor has a double barrel shotgun. And also here we got a classic M60. For our next gear items, head over to DZ4 Safe Room. Here the Dark Zone Gear mod vendor has a prototype stamina mod with 260 stamina and 3,225 skill power. And also here we got a prototype performance mod with 7% Seeker Mine explosion radius. For our next gear items, head over to DZ5 Safe Room. Here the Dark Zone weapon mod vendor has an extended magazine. Also here we got a compensator. And also here we got a small RDS scope. For our next gear items, head over to DZ8 Safe Room. Here the Dark Zone Gear vendor has a tactical vest with the talent Vigorous. And also here we got a Spec Ops pack with the talent Relentless on there. For our next gear items, head over to DZ9 Safe Room. Here the Dark Zone weapon mod vendor has a heavy magazine spring. Also here we got a compensator. Alright everybody, that's it for our Tom Clancy's The Division vendor reset video for May 21st, 2021's vendor reset. Hope everybody tuned into it, found them something that they needed. Smash on that sub and like button, y'all appreciate that support. And I will see y'all with the next one everybody. Take care, peace.